but we are live with the one and only Chris Waffle from Megathruster.
Megathruster!
Which I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing me because we've plastered it all over our show. The one and only live, or God, what I've listened to the song just now, and now I'm drawing a blank.
Other people playing Minecraft.
Other people playing Minecraft. When I go to say it, I blank. But yes, we've played it. We blasted it. You've been on the show like 4 or 5 times now with that same song. We love it.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that.
I think it's like an exploded hit. That's what I call it. It's like a hit for our audience because they know it, they've heard it, and they love it. And it's a fucking kick-ass song, man. Because like awesome. I do relate to it, man. I don't get people who watch the people like Serial watches Jacksepticeye and Serial watches PewDiePie.
No, I don't watch PewDiePie.
Whatever. I can't watch any of it. And I think it's all fucking dumb. I don't like. I don't know where you fall on the fence, though, man.
You know, I do think that it seems that I've struck a nerve. Definitely. As a matter of fact, I just got back from Gen Con in Indianapolis, and I caught some contagious disease from there. So excuse me if I'm coughing later, but
you got the Zika? You got the Zika?
Yeah, I think I got Zika virus at Gen Con. Something's going on. I'm getting over it a little bit now, but
don't have a baby. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got that taken care of. But I think I struck a nerve because wherever I go and people hear that song, they go, if they have kids, it's like, you know, I've really hit a nerve with them. So personally, I don't really watch any of those shows. I don't really care to do that with my limited free time. But if it's your jam, you know, have fun with it. The song is more about how I just come from a different time. And I don't understand it. I
also don't understand it. I always say I'm Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. That's how I feel.
Do you YouTube, though? Like, would you say you consume YouTube for an entertainment form?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No,
I do.
I will say that JC does not. He basically just watches music videos through there. It's not like he subscribes to shows. So it's a different thing for JC where he says he doesn't get it because he doesn't get YouTube outside of
YouTube is my MTV. It's my MTV.
But that's all you use it for.
100%. I don't watch anything outside of music videos off of YouTube because I don't get like watching people like all the vlogs. Like I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand.
That's a key statement that separates you from everybody else. You call them vlogs.
Why? What is that? Not what people call them anymore?
Vlogs.
Oh, they're vlogs now?
Yes.
They're fucking vlogs.
No one has
now?
ever called them vlogs.
I didn't actually know what you were talking about when you said vlogs. I was just playing along.
How do you say GIF?
What's GIL?
The GIF.
Do you say GIF or GIF? How do you say that?
Oh, GIF. Well, yeah. I was saying GIF, but the guy who created the GIF says that it's, you know, the G is actually a hard G, so it should be GIF.
That's what I think.
No, I've heard it the other way. I've heard the guy that's created it says it's a giraffe G with a GIF.
Well, I don't know. I still say GIF because I feel like when I say GIF with a hard G, it's like a microaggression on people.
Yep, I'm triggered. That's it. Yeah, exactly. I need a safe space.
Exactly.
You better go in your safe space closet.
I like using the soft G.
Well, before we dive too deep in conversation, and like, you want to explain kind of who you are, where you come from, how'd you get into it? Like, you're a musician, and
set the audience up. Since we do a shit job of setting up our guests, set them up on who you are, and then we're going to get back to bashing YouTube. So go for it.
Well, I'm Chris Waffle, and I'm one half of the acoustic nerd rock power duo Megathruster. And my buddy, I play acoustic bass. My buddy Joel Michella, he's who's watching the Bears game right now. He plays guitar, and we do songs about nerdy, geek, pop culture stuff.
Nerdcore stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I think nerdcore is really reserved for the hip hop side.
Oh, okay.
But it's I think that's what that term is generally for the hip hop artists that kind of sing about the same kind of stuff that we do.
Just so different genre.
Yeah, I call it like nerd rock, or there's nerd folk. There's like a little. It's funny because this kind of the genre. The only thing that really makes it a genre is the subject matter rather than the musical style. Where mostly in other forms of music, there's jazz and rock and country. It's about the musical style, not the subject matter that's being sung about. But with nerd stuff, it's the other way around. It's like, oh, you sing about Star Wars and
you drop a Mega Man every now and then. You're
right.
a nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were just at Classic Game Fest, man, and I realized like how I guess out of touch I am with the community, because everybody was doing this. Like, I like the old games. I like Kirby's Dream Land. I consider to be the greatest game of all time.
But you didn't know what a beat 'em up was.
But I didn't know what a beat 'em up was. I didn't know a button masher. I didn't. I like fucking pinball and Kirby's Dream Land and Super Mario Brothers.
I like the old Nintendo.
And I see these.
I remember for a quarter you could see a woman shake her booty.
I saw these people playing this fucking Pokemon Go. And I'm not gonna lie, Chris. Like, you probably think it's cool, man, but it troubled me. I was troubled by the Pokemon Go.
I don't. It doesn't trouble me, but I probably am the only one I know who does not play Pokemon Go. But I look outside my window all the time, and I've never seen any of my neighbors walking around the neighborhood. I can look outside right now, and there's someone playing Pokemon Go, literally walking out on the street while we're talking.
Well, my buddy Dr. Grant argues that it's actually like good for society because people are active now, and I'm going, yeah, but they're active. They're looking at augmented reality, which is one step closer to the Bruce Willis movie Surrogates. We're one step closer to like living through VR, which I don't know if that's good for society, man.
I don't know, man. I saw that movie and I thought, shoot, if I could put myself into a younger, handsome body that has hair, I'd be all over that.
Like, I would so be down for tasting a volcano if I had a disposable body.
Yeah, if I could put myself in a body, like, I would be, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now.
Let's tickle a rhino. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but
my augmented body would be at a strip club in Portland right now. It wouldn't be talking with you guys.
Well, I've been watching this movie called Mr. Nobody, and it's about existentialism, and it's about the last mortal in the future. And literally, a guy lives, he's 115. It's like the year 2089. And he lives in a world where everyone now, because of digital downloading, their essence is immortal. And he's the last guy to die. And they have like this reality show about how he's the last guy to die. And they're interviewing him. And I just go like, I don't know if that's good. Well, I don't know if it's good that we're going to get rid of. I think death is essential to being a human. I think you have to die.
Fill me in real fast on this notion. Is everybody else like living in a server somewhere? Like he's the last one with a body, or everybody else is like matrixed into the internet?
No, their bodies are like what they call like transmutated or whatever. So they can essentially jump from body to body. Like one gets old, they dispose of it, they get a new one. And this guy's the last guy to die. I do think we're on the verge. Do you have a kid, Chris? Do you have any kids?
I do have some children. Yes.
How old?
I have. We have a merged family, so there's 4 of them altogether, from 8 to 16.
Do you feel like you're like the last generation to die? Because that's what I feel like.
They do say that we may be.
No. I think there's always going to be death. I don't know about that.
I look at my kid and I think she's going to be immortal. I think she's a fucking vampire.
There will always be those assholes without surge protectors and the servers will burn and we just lost 400 people.
I don't think that it's going to be ever possible to transfer consciousness like that. Like, do you ever hear them talking about the transporter in Star Trek? Like, if you really dematerialized the body and then reconstructed it exactly as it was, would that be you? Because technically
it's a different you.
Died.
Well, yeah,
you died, but there's another you that was created with your memories and same brain,
exactly,
and everything. But you actually died,
right? So you as who you are at this moment cease to exist, and there's a new you who has, like you said, all the memories, who continues to live, but your consciousness dies when you say go.
Exactly. So I don't think that's ever going to be possible.
Well, what about the transcendence thing, like the Johnny Depp thing, where you just put yourself in a computer?
Did you finish that movie?
I did. It was hard, though. That was a hard finish. That was a hard movie to finish.
The chick goes out there and smashes some satellites, and Johnny Depp dies.
Yeah.
Spoilies for everybody.
I don't know, man. I think if we conquer death, I think it's the last thing to conquer. I do think my daughter's a vampire, but I don't know, man. I think
this is getting a lot more philosophical than the first time we spoke.
Well, that was the thing. A lot of people don't know. Like, we did a one interview with you, and then we lost the whole damn thing, so we got you back. But yeah, it's because I've been watching. I'm going to tell you, do you ever get the thing where you learn a word and you may not fully know what it means, but you use it a lot, like you know what it means? Does that ever happen to you?
Per se?
Yeah, sure.
I've been using nihilism a lot lately.
Oh.
I watched a movie that said nihilism, and then I went, I think I'm a nihilist. And I just like urban dictionary it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like I'm down with that.
You urban dictionary it?
So I think I'm very into philosophy.
You watched the Big Lebowski or something, or what happened?
Oh, what was it I watched? I don't know, man. They were talking. It was Barton Fink. It was a Coen Brothers movie. It was Barton Fink, and they talked about nihilism, and I was like, fuck, man, maybe I'm a nihilist. Because like I like the idea of everything is meaningless. And so I've been on this trip now of watching movies about philosophy and thinking about all this stuff, man. And like, yeah, now, you just said it. Now I feel like I'm talking like the Big Lebowski. Like, what does it mean, man? What is it, dude? It's all just a thing. You think about this shit, Chris, or is it just me? Am I out of my mind?
No, I feel like I think about that stuff sometimes. I'm real busy though, so I don't get a lot of quiet time.
It probably doesn't rule your life like it does JC's.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it to the next day at this point.
Do you have ADD or ADHD? Do you have either one of those things?
AID or anything like that?
No, I do not personally. I do not, but I know those who do.
Yeah. Well, for me, it is the reason I have to find a thing to focus on is because I do have ADD, and it's like if I find a thing to obsess about, it keeps me from like it keeps me focused, like it keeps me functioning in life. Like There was one time I researched all the canon of the X-Men and all the X-Men, and it helped me like have a thing to do. Like it was like, now I'm going to learn about the X-Men. That way I'm not going crazy in my thoughts.
Yeah, and how has that helped you in life? Like the knowledge of the X-Men canon?
Well, it kept me from going to the mental institution.
Yeah.
So.
But like you could have been researching like electrical engineering and made something of it outside of just weird comic book knowledge.
Chris, you're in the nerd music world. What do you think about the DC comic universe? Because I'm a defender of it, and I find I'm on an island of myself.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the Marvel. I'm a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have not seen, with the exception, I guess, of the Man of Steel, I have not seen Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice or Suicide Squad.
Chris Waffle, we're on the same page there, man.
I haven't seen them. That doesn't mean I don't want to see them, but I haven't seen them, so I don't feel I can judge without seeing them.
They're not important enough to take time out of your life to go make a point to see it. Like you stopped your life to go see Star Wars, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
You didn't stop your life for Batman v Superman.
I did not.
Neither did I.
I stopped my life for every Marvel movie. I stopped my life for Ant-Man.
You stopped your life for Ant-Man?
Hell yeah, I did.
I thought it was like, here's what I thought on Ant-Man.
It was good.
Mike, no, I hated it.
Well, okay, the movie wasn't good, but
who doesn't like, wait a minute. Who doesn't love Paul Rudd, America's sweetheart?
Paul Rudd was good.
No, that's the thing. I thought like he wasn't very Paul Ruddy.
He wasn't ruddy enough for you?
He wasn't I love you, man, Wanderlust Paul Rudd. He was like a little more serious, and I didn't feel
good drop.
I didn't feel like giving him a bro hug.
I love Wanderlust.
Wanderlust is great.
That's a great movie.
When he's what's he saying in the mirror
Jennifer
like 100 times? He says one word in the mirror like something about a pussy or something. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he's gonna wreck it. Or
you're gonna
like
wreck that pussy. You're gonna fuck that pussy. Yeah. You're gonna love it. And fuck the shit out of it.
Or when Jennifer Aniston's all high on shrooms and she jumps out of the tree. There's a lot of great moments in the movie.
That time. So good.
Jordan Peele is in that. as well. He takes a shit in front of everyone. So anyway, no, the thing about Ant-Man is I felt like it was like, I've seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I've seen it. It was a good movie. I don't know if I needed a superhero version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay.
Chris disagrees. My kid loved it. It was the first one. Spider-Man and Ant-Man are the only movies that I've watched with my kid where besides Suicide Squad, she watched that with me recently. But besides that, like I took her to Batman versus Superman. Holy shit, that was a mistake. She was like an hour into it, just like, this sucks. And just running around.
Running around the theater?
Yeah, I was just like,
You're a bad parent.
Have some popcorn. I got to finish this movie. But Ant-Man, she loved. She thought it was a great movie. I think it was for kids, man. It felt like a kid's movie.
The Marvel ones are I haven't seen the new DC ones, so I can't really comment on them.
But like Civil War was a great movie. Like Civil War was really good.
Yeah.
And all the Captain America trilogy to me is surprisingly, in my opinion, the best trilogy of all the Marvel universe, I thought.
Yeah. I don't feel like sometimes I feel like DC, and I don't know if this is Zack Snyder's influence or if it's the studio, but they're trying to be gritty just to be gritty, like being dark and gritty is going to make it cool when, you've got these iconic heroes from like the golden age of comics, Superman and Batman, and they're from, if you look at their original tellings, like in the comics, it's almost like it's really cheesy from today's standards, and they're trying to bring him into the present day, and they're making him gritty to be, when I saw one of the things I didn't like about Man of Steel is how muted the color scheme and how kind of more they wanted to make Superman kind of dark and gritty, and to me that's not what Superman's about. Superman is the all-American Boy Scout. He's supposed to be light and justice and bright and good. And I feel like from what I've seen of Batman versus Superman, it just seemed real dark and gritty, and he's fighting Batman. And I'm like, why is he fighting Batman? He looks all pissed off. And I don't know.
It's because his parents died.
It's pretty bad, dude. I won't spoil it, but there is a thing where like both of their parents died, and we're just supposed to be like, oh, that's why they're fighting. And it doesn't make I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, is that right? I just threw that out there.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, it makes very little sense. And it is the thing
My
where
parents died. Your parents died? Let's fight.
I don't know why they gave the keys to the entire universe to Zack Snyder, who like hasn't really he did 300, which looked cool, but on a second viewing,
it's a shitty movie. Other than looking really cool, it's a shitty story.
That's what that's the thing. If you want to if I wanted a cinematographer,
I want him
Zack
to do
Snyder all day long.
Yeah, let him do the Smurfs film next time, but not the Batmans.
He knows how to make things look cool in a way very few people do. But short of making them look cool, he doesn't know how to do story. Yeah.
If Papa Smurf was all like ripped and flying through the air with a saber.
So are you like if you broke it down from like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, like Cereal's a Star Wars guy. Is Star Wars more your bag than all the others, or is Marvel how do you feel about the Star Wars thing?
Oh, I love going back to Zack Snyder a little bit, just for real quick. I really love 2004's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, it was great.
Which and he directed that, and it falls apart in the third act, but I actually really like that movie. But it was written by James Gunn, who, as you know, went on to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's funny how they kind of work together, and now they're on opposite spectrums of the Marvel and DC. I just thought of that, so I thought I'd.
No, and also the 2004 Dawn of the Dead created hyper fast zombies. That was the first time I saw that, which was, I thought, a neat twist. They didn't do it as well in World War Z.
Is that the one with Ving Rhames and the mall? And that was a good one. Yeah, you're right. The third act, the middle of the second act, like once they settle in and they start like the pregnant lady, it just falls apart. But
it does fall apart at the third act, and they leave kind of for a dumb reason. They're like, "Well, I just want to go," and they kind of like leave. And it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Boats exist. Maybe we should go see.
Yeah.
Do you? What I wanted to ask you about Star Wars, do you think, because I think it's going to suck, do you think Star Wars Rogue One is the new Ewok movie?
I don't know. This is the feeling I have with Marvel. So Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars now.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's really a committee where they really care about making sure that the product is consistent, which they're dealing with art. They're not dealing with T-shirts or like action figures. It's like, movie making is supposed to be an art.
Yeah.
So they're really focused on making sure the product is consistent, which can make art bland because you're taking out like interesting things to make sure that it's all the same. So I don't know what that's going to really do. So I do see that a little bit with the Marvel films because they all, since they have to be in the same universe, they're all is similar kind of movie.
How long do you think before we get a Christmas special, a Star Wars Christmas special version 2, or maybe a Marvel like Thor and Scarlet Widow are just sitting around a Christmas tree and handing out presents to Thor's wife, who happens to be Chewbacca?
I would love that. I would bring it on if I could see that, and like Robert Downey Jr. and what's his face who plays War Machine, and they start singing a song.
Oh, Don Cheadle, just singing.
Yeah. Don Cheadle. They start singing a song, and then
chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Oh my God! Yeah, I would watch it. I will consume any of it. That's the other thing. I will consume it all.
I'm upset that you are bashing the Ewok movies. I love both of them.
Return to Endor.
Yes.
Waffle knows.
They're so good. Like as a kid, those were my first steps into Star Wars. I didn't see
the Ewok movies?
I didn't see the proper Star Wars until I was older, maybe like 10, 12. But as a kid, 5 years old,
I wouldn't admit that, bro.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. The Ewok movies were my stepping stone to the Star Wars universe, and I love them to this day.
You're one of the few.
My kids love them.
I only say because Warwick Davis was in them, I'm semi cool with it, but only because he was Willow. If Warwick Davis hadn't been in it, like I wouldn't be down with it.
So do you love the Harry Potter movies?
Haven't seen any of them.
Warwick Davis is in them.
Is he?
Yeah.
Waffle, you seen those? You seen the Harry Potter movies?
Oh yeah, we got a song about Harry Potter set in the Harry Potter world on the album.
What's that one?
It's rough to be a Hufflepuff.
It is rough to be a Hufflepuff.
That's right.
I love your album title, 20-Sided Vice. I feel like is just like perfect, man. It was like when I saw that album, I was like, I'm going to love everything on it. I downloaded it on iTunes and I've been crunching it. And there's certain songs that I'm just like, the Bruce Campbell song I love simply because I literally worship the ground that guy walks on.
I'm a huge fan from back in the day. And we actually have a new video out for that song. It's a lyric video that my other member Joel did, and we just put it up on YouTube, so you guys can check that out. Definitely. And he did some cool animations to it. But yeah, that's one of my favorites too. We have it's always fun to when I was a kid and I loved Bruce Campbell and no one knew who he was, and now I'm like, hey, we got any Bruce Campbell fans here? And the whole place erupts with cheers, so it's awesome.
Well, he did this show. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there used to be 2 shows late night. They were syndicated.
Miami Heat? Whatever.
No, it was called Jack of All Trades.
Jack of All Trades.
Such a great show. I used to watch Jack of All Trades back to back with Cleopatra 2020. It was one of the best nights of my life.
I've never heard of either of those.
Jack of All Trades is amazing.
What was that Miami Heat one he did?
Do you remember what was the theme? Do you remember the theme song? It was like, in 1651, the revolution had begun, and Uncle Sam's favorite son had a job that needed done. Remember?
He's got it. No, I know. You're bringing me back. You're giving me a nostalgia trip right now. Dude, I would lock in on Jack of All Trades. It was about like a guy, Syria, you don't know what it is. It was about a guy in the Renaissance period.
He was the daring dragoon.
It was so great. He was like in the Renaissance period and he was like a hero. And it was like
when was this made?
Early 2000s, I think.
Late 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
So before, what I'm saying is he had a USA show that he was like a co-star of.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice. See, yeah, Miami Heat, same thing. So
I never saw Burn Notice.
Yeah, he was good on that, but the show sucked to me because he was only a bit player.
Yeah,
but
he was the star of Jack of All Trades, and I really think like that show deserves like a DVD re-release or something.
Yeah, I need to see it. That sounds fun.
It was great.
It was fun. It was fun, and he was in Xena and Warrior Princess and Hercules. Remember those shows?
Oh, I watched those, and I just don't remember. I was younger.
He played Autolycus, the King of Thieves, and he was like a Robin Hood kind of scoundrel with a heart of gold, and he would rob, and he was kind of like the comedic. He would pop in every couple of like a couple times a season and kind of be a comedic foil to Hercules or Xena, and it was really fun.
I was obsessed with Lucy Lawless. I was like, oh my God, I was in love with her. When I found out she was like nude in Spartacus, I was like, oh, I must watch Spartacus now. Because that is one of the loves of my life, Lucy Lawless.
Oh yeah, now she's on Ash vs. Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell.
I have not seen that. That's a Netflix thing, isn't it?
Stars.
Stars.
Damn it! I don't have Stars.
I got Stars just for that show.
I saw I think they did a free preview weekend the weekend the show premiered, and I watched like the first episode, and I fucking loved it. And then they took Stars away from me. Goddamn AT&T fucking cock-sucking DirecTV son of a bitches.
How good is that show? I haven't seen it. Is it a good show?
Oh, it's good. If you like Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I really liked Sam Raimi up until Spider-Man.
No, he did good with Spider-Man up until like the third one where he was like, just make him emo and throw 70 characters at him.
Do you think Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire? Because I do.
I feel like maybe Anthony Garfield was a better Spider-Man, but I like the others. I like Spider-Man 2 better than the Anthony Garfield ones, like the movies overall.
Okay.
No, I get it. That's because fair. The second Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a really confusing movie. And it was weird because like Electro, like Jamie Foxx's character went bad just because Spider-Man didn't recognize him. When he went from a black guy to a electric blue man, and he was like, "You don't know who I am? I'm now going to be a bad guy." And I was like, "This makes no sense."
You know what I'm upset about? The reason that movie sucked? They teased the Rhino with
Paul Giamatti.
With Giamatti, and then it was like, nope. And at the very end, they were like, "Ha ha, the Rhino, Paul Giamatti into movie," and I was like, "Well, fuck you. I want to see the Rhino with Paul Giamatti."
It was not good.
Why was he not the bad guy?
Yeah, that was weird.
The critically, like he has more awards than everybody working on the film, and they had him for a 2-bit second, role.
It was not good. It was like they were trying to cram too much in.
The new Spider-Man in Civil War was awesome. I can't wait for the new Spider-Man.
No, I think it's going to be really good. When I took it, that scene, Robert Downey Jr. with Spider-Man, where he's a teenager and they're talking to each other in Civil War, and then Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny is like Spider-Man's mom. It's like Spider-Man's mom is a MILF, and Spider-Man's this funny, like, it's the first time I've ever seen him. I was like, oh, he's a 16-year-old child. It was like the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh, clearly he's a kid. And that's what made it cool to me.
Oh, the guy, I haven't seen it, so you got to spell it out for me. It's not a 30-year-old playing him?
No, it's a kid.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because every other time, I'm pretty sure Garfield was the youngest one at the age of like 27.
Yeah, no, it's a kid, and he's like, I mean, I don't know how much of a kid he is, but he's definitely the youngest actor that we've seen him play so far. And and when he's fighting in the scene, in the movie, he's battling when all the heroes are fighting, like you saw in the commercials. His jokes and his one-liners and just how he's behaving felt like the most Spider-Man-ish, I guess.
Very Spider-Man-y.
Fun. Yes.
Yeah, it was just like a 16-year-old, like these quips, these little. It was great, man. And the thing that Marvel does great, and I don't know if Chris agrees with me or not, but Marvel does a thing where I'll go. I'll think initially they'll announce their next slate of movies, and I'll go, nah, I'm not really interested in seeing that. And then I'll watch a movie, And I'll go, well, shit, I need to see this. And it was like with Black Panther. I wasn't familiar with the character, but I watched Civil War. And at the end of Civil War, I'm going, well, I can't wait to see the Black Panther movie now.
Now, the question is, do you feel the same way about Aquaman?
I kind of do, actually.
Do you?
Chris doesn't? You don't want to see the Aquaman movie?
Well, I forget the actor's name, but when they announced him, I know my wife really wants to see it now.
Jason Momoa? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he's a beast, but still, the premise of the whole movie is like, hey, fishies, let's go do fishy things together.
Well, I don't know. I do like the DC TV universe. So like the Flash TV show and Arrow TV show and Legends of Tomorrow. I actually do like those TV shows, but I don't feel like Warner Brothers has a handle on their movies.
No, that's the weird thing. I think Marvel does a shittier job on TV shows, and DC does a better job on TV. So it's like Marvel, you go see the Marvel movies and you watch the DC TV shows. That's what I feel like.
Well, DC's playing catch up to Disney.
Marvel on Netflix, though.
Oh, Daredevil. Killing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about Luke Cage.
I saw I saw the preview for Luke Cage yesterday, and man, that looks awesome.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a joke, right? It's awful.
I don't really, it's when you have such a high bar set with the movies, it's hard to compete with
30-minute little snippets of a story.
Well, we want to play. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in the budget and the actors and everything, it's hard to compete with that top talent that they have for the big screen.
Yeah. Well, we want to play some Megathruster when we go to break. So what's like a song that we may not have? We played, other people play Minecraft like a million times.
We played Chewbacca.
We played Chewbacca once, which I really liked because of Chewbacca Mom. But what's a song we should play going to break, man?
Well, since we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Cinematic Universe, you should play the song that was inspired by the news of that Ben Affleck was going to play Batman. When Ben Affleck was going to get played Batman.
You got a Batfleck song?
Yes. It's not about Batfleck, but it was inspired by the news, and it's called "It's Not Out Yet."
Okay, well let's do that one. Before we do that, can we promo your Twitter, your Facebook, where people? Because I want everybody.
Concerts, where are you going to be? What you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find out if you go to megathruster.com. That's our website. We're on Twitter, Megathruster Go. And we're on Facebook. If you Google Megathruster or Facebook, search, I guess they call it, Megathruster. It's all should be there.
Yeah, so Facebook / Megathruster, I think is the way that works.
I believe that is it. Either that or it's Megathruster Music. I can't remember if Megathruster was taken.
Just Google them and you'll find them. That's how I always find Megathruster.
That's it.
Just throw it into Google and it comes up.
And on YouTube, we got some music videos up. Just search Megathruster in any of those spots. We're playing in Portland on Wednesday at the Analog Cafe with a video game band called the Runaway 4, and they do the 8-bit. They do like instrumental versions of like the old 8-bit like themes and video game themes. So we're playing a show with them on Wednesday at the Analog Cafe in Portland, and then we will be in Chicago on the 26th of this month at Fump Fest, which is kind of like a comedy music festival all weekend long. We'll be at the Elk Grove Holiday Inn on the 26th. If you're in the Chicago area, come on out.
When I want everybody to go out, I don't know how the album's doing on iTunes, but I assume it's doing pretty well. I want everybody to go download 20-Sided Vice on iTunes for Megathruster. There's a lot of, because Cyril alluded to it earlier, a lot of nerdcore rap, but I don't hear as much of what you guys are doing. I would say it's like the Tenacious D of nerd rock. It's two guys, guitars, funny shit. And everybody, I really think would do themselves well to go out and download it, because you guys are pretty unique in the world that you guys run in, you know?
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I appreciate that. There's more and more. There's not a lot. There's some comedy stuff and there's some nerd stuff, and we kind of bring the two together, I feel like, in a unique way. So we have a lot of fun.
Well, I want everybody to go download them. Megathruster on iTunes. Download the new album, 20-Sided Vice. I know they busted their ass on it. It is great. I encourage everyone to download it. We will play that song. What was the name of the song again we're going to play?
Go ahead and just intro it.
Intro the song and we'll play it.
This song was inspired by the news that Ben Affleck was playing Batman, and it's called It's Not Out Yet.
There you go. It's right now on the Exploded Show.
Went on the internet today, and I saw the online headlines say they bought the rights to my favorite book. Hey, maybe I should take a look. They say that film might be directed by Michael Bay. I think that's really not okay. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just know that I hate it. I just know. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just can't celebrate it. I just won't. Went on my favorite gossip site and I saw that they just might turn my favorite 80s cartoon into a brand new movie soon. But Joss Whedon took a pass on writing the script, and now I wanna punch somebody in the dick. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just know that I hate it. I just know. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just want to be rated 'cause it blows. Think how great the world would be if everyone would just listen to me. I would make every movie rad. No nerd would ever be sad. Till then I'll be on the internet, staying up real late, poking holes in everything that you create. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just know that I hate it. I just know. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just can't celebrate it. I just won't. It's not out yet, but I know that I hate it. I just know that I hate it. I just know. It's not out yet, but I